Hello students, we have done final accounts, we have also done ratio analysis, we have done multiple types of problems on final accounts and ratio analysis. Now next topic which I am going to start today is estimation of cost and revenue. The notes of the same I have given, which is in the name of type of cost. The first portion of the notes is a theoretical portion where you will find there are different types of costs, like the direct cost, indirect cost, fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost, semi-fixed cost, then opportunity cost, marginal cost, average cost, okay, and also recurring cost, non-recurring costs, then life cycle cost, etc. Okay, so all these types of cost are important for your theoretical part. From this portion you will be getting question in the like short notes or short answer type question, etc. Now there is a numerical portion also in this area, that is estimation, means cost estimation. So now we will start with the estimation of cost and revenue. Now first of all we have to know one thing. What do you mean by estimates? Estimate is the future prediction regarding cost and revenue. Estimate is a pre-planned attainable objective related to cost and revenue for any future course of action at a normal level of activity. Okay, so that means this estimate means what? When we are estimating something, that means we are predicting the future. Okay, and if our estimation is correct based on numerical methodology, then what will happen? Our planning will be successful and then we can easily attain our future goals. So this is how we are doing the estimation. Okay, so estimation is a pre-planned attainable objectives related to cost and revenue for any future course of action at a normal level of activities. Okay, now why this is required? Why estimation is required? See, need or importance or advantage of cost estimation. Estimation of cost and revenue has a paramount importance in the organization. In an organization, the importance of estimation of cost are discussed below. First one is what? Help to determine variance. That means this estimation helps us to determine the variation from the actual. Estimated cost help to control the actual cost and keep it within the limit. Variance are determined, corrective actions are taken for rectifying any unfavorable situation. If there is any single unfavorable situation, then corrective measures are taken to rectify the same. Next one is control wastage. We can control wastage by fixing estimated waste and compare that estimated waste with the actual waste or actual loss. In this way, we can put control on wastage part. Next one is corrective action. Corrective action is taken to control wastage regarding material, regarding idle time of machine, regarding usage of machine hours, etc. Next one is help to fixed price. Price means the selling price. Estimated cost help to fix prices by determining probable cost for a product and services and added with it an estimated margin. Margin means what? Profit. We have to add profit with the cost, then only we can fix the selling price of the product. In other words, estimated cost help management to fixed price for goods and services well in advance. Next is what? Bring overall efficiency. Estimated cost help to create cost consciousness, reduce different type of wastage, inefficiencies are located, corrective measures are taken. In this way, estimated cost tries to bring an overall achievement in the organization. Okay, so this brings overall efficiency, that enhances overall efficiencies of the organization. Last one is help for budgetary control. Estimated cost also help to prepare budget for various purposes and help to influence budgetary control. So these are the different importance or need why we need to do cost estimation. Okay. Next comes to what? The cost estimation models. See, there are 4 important cost estimation models as per your syllabus. First one is per unit model. Second one is cost index model. Third one is power sizing model. And fourth one is segmenting model. Let us start with the first one. Per unit model. In case of per unit model, cost estimates are made on per unit basis. Once estimated costs per unit are determined, then the total costs are arrived by multiplying with number of unit produced. Definitely, per unit model means you are finding out the per unit cost of any product. So if you want to find out the total cost, we can simply find it out by multiplying per unit cost of any product with the total number of unit produced of the same product. We can easily find out the total cost of that particular product. Okay. Say for example, you have gone for purchasing a flat. What will be the first question you will ask to a builder? What is the per square foot price going on? Say the per square foot price of that locality is 3000 rupees. And you want to purchase a flat of 1000 square feet. So how much will be the total cost you need to pay for purchasing that flat? 3000 into 1000. Okay, that means it will be 30 lakh. 30 lakh you have to pay for purchasing that flat in that locality. So this is how we are computing per unit cost of anything and the total cost we are finding out with the help of per unit cost. Now this model is very simple to calculate and understand. Some other example of per unit models are cost per ton of goods carried, fuel cost per kilowatt hour generated, revenue per customer served, construction cost per square foot, patient cost per day in a hospital, cost per passenger kilometer, etc. Okay, so these are few examples of per unit cost determination. Okay, now let us do one problem under this model. Okay, problem is a very simple problem only to understand how we are doing the calculation under per unit model. Okay, this is your year's problem and semester's problem. Okay, so let us start with the problem. First I am reading out the problem. You have to listen it carefully. Then we will see how we are solving it. Very simple problem. Raju, the owner of a taxi, supplies the following information. Cost of taxi rupees 1,50,000 with total life of 2,50,000 kilometers. Driver salary 700 per month. Cleaner salary rupees 300 per month. Repairs rupees 3,600 per annum. Garage rent rupees 2,400 per annum. Tax rupees 1,200 per annum. Diesel consumption 8 kilometers per liter, means 1 liter of oil the taxi can run 8 kilometers. Okay, diesel cost rupees 8 per liter, oil and other sundries rupees 20 per 125 kilometers. Now this line is very important. The taxi runs 100 kilometers per day for an average of 25 days in a month. 20% of the distance has been run without any passenger. calculate the cost of running the taxi per passenger kilometer. Now we have to find out what? We have to find out cost of running the taxi per passenger kilometer. Okay, so this is per unit model problem. You can understand from this part. Now, before starting with the solution, first and foremost thing which we have to do, that is we have to segregate the cost given over here into two parts. One is fixed cost, another is the variable cost. Fixed cost means cost which is fixed for a particular period of time. Okay, maybe that should not be lesser than 1 year. Okay, maybe for 1 year it is fixed. After 1 year it may change, but it is fixed for the time being. Variable cost, which is a dependent cost, okay, which is always changing because it is depending on certain variables. Okay, that is called as that's why it's called as variable cost. Now we have to find out what are the fixed cost item given over here and what are the variable cost item given over here. Okay, so first start with this. Driver salary, fixed for the time being, so we can consider it as fixed cost. Cleaner salary, the same, fixed cost. Repair, mind it, repair is an expenditure which we are doing as the asset gets older and older. Okay, see, when the asset is new, we are not making any expenditure on repair. As the asset gets older and older, we will start expending on repair, okay, of the asset. So repair cannot be considered as a fixed expenditure. It is considered to be variable one. Okay, next one is garage rent, fixed for the time being. Tax, fixed for the time being. Diesel consumption, diesel cost is varying with the kilometer the taxi is running. Okay, oil and other sundries also varies with the kilometer the taxi is running in a particular week or particular month or particular year. Then, as I said, this line is important. The taxi runs 100 kilometers per day with an average of 25 days in a month, and 20% of the distance has been run without passenger. Okay, here we have to calculate the cost of running taxi per passenger kilometer. Means we have to find out the with passenger portion, not the without passenger portion. Understood? Okay, now let's look at the solution. Statement showing operating cost per passenger kilometer. See how the statement is looking like. This is the statement. Now before that we have to do this part, this note 1 part, note 1 and note 2 part. See, note 1 and note 2. What I have written here? Total passenger kilometer run in a month. As I said, the taxi is running 100 kilometers. See, 100 kilometer per day. The taxi is running 100 kilometer per day. Okay, and for an average of 25 days in a month. So in a month the taxi is running 25 into 100, that means 2500 kilometer. Another one, 20% of the distance the taxi is running without passenger, means 80% with passenger, and we have to find out with passenger part only. Okay, now let's see. See here what I have written. Total passenger kilometer run in a month is 100 kilometer into 25. Total kilometer run in a month, 100 kilometer into 25, that's 2500, and total passenger kilometer run in a month is 100 kilometer into 25 into 80%, because 80% with passenger, that means 2000 passenger kilometers. Okay, now let me see the solution part. See here, statement showing operating cost per passenger kilometer. First is the variable part I have written here. Variable, as I said, repair is coming under variable, but as the amount is given in annum means annually, means on yearly figure, we have to equally, because we have to convert each and every amount into monthly figure. Why I am converting it into month? Because this part is given for a particular month. So as this part is given for a particular month, we have to convert all the figures into monthly figures. Okay, see here, first repair equally divided by that means by dividing it 12, we have equally divided it in 12 months. Okay, see, it's coming 3600 divided by 12 means 300. Okay, next is diesel cost. Diesel cost is how much? Diesel cost is 2500 kilometers, because see, the taxi is running with passenger or without passenger consuming diesel. That's why it should be 2500 kilometers. Okay, the total run in a month divided by 8. Okay, and the price, see, the price, see why I have divided it by 8, because with 1 liter the taxi is running 8 kilometer. Okay, so that means 2500 divided by 8 means 8 kilometer. We will be getting how many liters of oil we need in a month, and per liter cost is again rupees 8 per liter. That's why we are again multiplying it with rupees 8. Understood? So first we are finding out how many liters we need. That's why we have done 2500 divided by 8, and then we are again multiplying it with rupees 8, because we are finding out what this is rupees 8. We are why we have written multiply it with rupees 8. That's why this is the diesel consumption cost. Okay, it will be coming to 2500 only. Next one is what? Next one is depreciation. Mind it, depreciation, as I said, depreciation is an expenditure which we cannot visualize through our naked eyes, but we have to incorporate depreciation. Okay, we have to consider depreciation, because when any asset is working, the life of that asset is gradually reducing. Okay, and that reduction in the life of asset is called as depreciation. How to calculate depreciation? There is a formula for that. This is the formula to find out depreciation. Amount of depreciation per annum means per year, is equal to cost of the asset plus installation charges minus scrap value divided by estimated useful life of the asset. You know that whenever we are finding out depreciation, cost of the asset must be known to you. Installation charges, if we have incurred any installation charges, that is a part of cost only. That's why we have to add it. Scrap value means value of the asset at the end of its life, when it is just like a scrap. Okay, so by selling it as scrap in the market, whatever we are getting is called as scrap value, and this is estimated life of the asset. Okay, so let us see now what are the information available for this particular problem. Cost of taxi given here as 1,50,000, and total life here is not given in years, it is given in kilometers. It's how much? 2,50,000 kilometers. Okay, nothing else. No installation, no scrap value. Okay, so we can put in this formula like cost of the asset as 1,50,000, no installation, no scrap value. So this part will be 0. Expected life given in kilometers as 2,50,000. But by doing so, we are finding out depreciation per year. But we have to convert it into months figure, as we are writing everything over here in months figure. So we have to convert it into months. So how to calculate? Let's see. See, depreciation, as per the formula, 1,50,000 is the cost divided by life, 2,50,000 kilometers. Okay, we will be getting per year amount of depreciation. How to convert it into months figure? Because this part is given in kilometers, so we have to find out how much kilometer the taxi is running in a month, and that is already calculated, and that is 2,500 kilometers. Okay, so this 2,500 we have to multiply, okay, to convert it into months figure. So 1,50,000 is the cost, 2,50,000 is the life. So this will come to numerator, this will come to denominator. You will be getting per year depreciation. then multiply with the number of kilometer run in a month, 2500 kilometer. The result is depreciation per month, and it's coming to 1500. Got it? Next, oil and other sundries. See, it is given over here. Rupees 20 per 125 kilometers. Again the same thing. The taxi is running whether with passenger or without passenger, but we have to do expenditure on oil and other sundries. So how to calculate it for per month? Rupees 20 per 125 kilometer means divided by 125 kilometer into total run in a month, 2500 kilometer. Okay, so it's coming to 400 per month. Now all the variable part we have included. Now add it up. It's coming to 4700. This 4700 is our total variable cost. Okay, total variable expenditure. But we have to find out what per passenger kilometer variable cost. Per passenger kilometer means how much passenger kilometer the taxi is running. 2000 passenger kilometer. Okay, so let us see how to calculate. For 2000 passenger kilometer, per passenger kilometer variable cost will be 4700 divided by 2000. It is coming to 2.35, means rupees 2.35. Okay, so this is per passenger kilometer variable cost. Now let us start with the fixed part, fixed cost or fixed expense part. As I said, driver salary, cleaner salary. See here, driver salary, cleaner salary given in month. Okay, so we have written the same, 700, and cleaner salary is 300. Done. Garage rent is given in years. See, garage rent rupees 2400 per annum means year. So divided by 12, it will be 200, and tax 1200 per year divided by 12, it is 100 per month. See, garage rent 200 per month and tax 100 per month. So we have converted all the figures into month. Okay, now add it up. Fixed part, the total of fixed part is coming to 1300. Now again we have to find out per passenger kilometer fixed cost. Per passenger kilometer fixed cost, that means for 2000 passenger kilometer it will be 1300 divided by 2000. It's coming to 0.65. Okay, this is per passenger kilometer fixed cost. So this is per passenger kilometer variable cost, and this one is per passenger kilometer fixed cost. Now operating cost per passenger kilometer means adding these two together, we will be getting total cost per passenger kilometer. It's how much? 2.35 plus 0.65, it is rupees 3. Okay, so operating cost per passenger kilometer is rupees 3. Okay, so this is how we are calculating per, that means problem under per unit model. Okay, now let us start with the next model. Okay, next model is called as cost index model. Indexes are the indicator of price movement of a product. Every year, government used to publish the index value of all the products prevailing in the market. Now here, what is written? Indexes are the reflector or indicator of price change as compared with past period expenses or revenue. Revenue means income. This is a statistical concept. Cost index data are available from variety of sources, as just now I said. Now what are the importance of this cost index? Cost indexes. Okay. First, the historical changes in cost are reflected by cost indexes. Yes, we can compare the historical cost and we can find out the present cost with the help of historical cost. Okay, indexes compare price changes between 2 points of time for a fixed quantity of goods or services. Means this index model can be used when there is no change in the capacity or there is no change in power of the product. Okay, goods and services means the quantity of goods or services is fixed. Then only we can find out the present cost of the product based on our historical indexes or past indexes. Understood? Next one, cost index may be related with individual cost items like material, labor, overhead, okay, or with group of cost like customer price indexes, industrial price indexes. These are the group indexes. Customer price in consumer price indexes, this is called as CPI, very popular term. Consumer price index is called as customer price indexes as well. Another is industrial price index. Okay, these are called as group indexes. Okay, and individual indexes are also available individually for different materials, for labors, for overheads, etc. Next, indexes are used to convert the historical data into current market price data, as said. Okay, index number in a time series economic data figure which reflects price or quantity taking a base value, say 100. Okay, so index value is a time series economic data figure, okay, which reflects the price and quantity taking a particular year as base year, and if the base year index value is not given, then we will consider that base value index as 100. Okay, the construction of index number depends on many factors. Okay, how this index numbers are being constructed based on variety of factors like cost of living, inflation, then other economic changes, introduction of new category of goods in the market, etc. So based on these factors, what happened? The index numbers are been constructed. Okay. Now next, how to calculate the index values? Okay, how to calculate it? There is a formula for that. Okay, see, this is the formula. Cost at time y is equal to cost at time x into IY by IX. This is the formula for calculating the index value. Okay, cost at the time y. Now here, see what is the meaning of the notification written over here. Suppose x is a time point in the past. This x is a time point in the past. Y is what? Y is the present time. Okay, see, y is the present time. So IY will be the index value of present, means present index value, and IX will be the past index value. Yes or no? See, let's IX denote the index value at time x. Time x means the past time. Okay, see here written. And IY denotes the current index value for the estimation of cost. Okay, so IY is the current index value and IX is the past index value. Okay, so based on this factors, we will now calculate the indexes. We will now calculate the current value of a particular product. Okay, let me now start with a problem. See this one. I'm just reading out the problem first. See, and then I will do the solution. First, an electricity company wants to replace its machinery with same capacity. This is very important here. As I told you, in case of index model, if there is any change in capacity, index model cannot be used. Okay, so there is no change in capacity, that's why it's written clearly with same capacity. Okay, an electricity company wants to replace its machinery with same capacity which was erected in the year, which was manufactured in the year 1982 at a cost of rupees 30 lakh. This consists of material, labor and overhead in the ratio of 5:3:2. Okay, so in this particular cost, that means the ratio of material, labor and overheads are 5:3:2. The present cost indexes of material, labor and overhead are 250, 300 and 240 respectively. So these are the present indexes given. Okay. You are required to determine the present cost of machinery to be replaced with the same capacity by using cost index model. So see, what are the data we need? In order to find out present cost, means cost at the time Y, we need past cost. Okay, and we also need present index and past index. Okay, so these three information we need to find out the current cost. Okay, so see here, this is the past cost given over here and these are the present indexes given. But one thing, past indexes are not given in the problem. Okay, now see how to calculate. This what I have written here, cost breakup of old machinery, because in this particular cost of 30 lakh, the ratio of material, labor and overhead are 5:3:2. Okay, see now we are breaking this three costs separately. Material is rupees 30 lakh into, this is 5 plus 3 plus 2 means 10. So this 5 by 10. So 30 lakh into 5 by 10 will be 15 lakh. Okay. Labor is how much? Labor is 3. That means 30 lakh into 3 by 10. That is coming to 9 lakh. And overhead is 30 lakh into 2 by 10. That is 6 lakh. Okay. That means this is the old breakup of cost. Okay. That means cost breakup of old machinery. Okay. So we have done this. Now next is we will now find out the current cost for the same. Okay, so here the present indexes of material, labor and overheads are given separately, but past indexes are missing. Okay, now I told you here only, see, when past indexes are missing, we have to consider the past indexes as 100. Okay, the same we did here. See, current cost breakup assuming best index is 100. Okay, so we have done the current cost breakup assuming best index or past index as 100, as it is not given in our problem. First, current cost of material. Okay, so what's the formula? Formula is, look here, formula is current cost is equal to past cost into current index divided by past index. Okay, so come here. So current cost of material is equal to past cost of material 15 lakh into current index of material. Current index of material as given here is 250 and past index is not given, so we have considered it as 100, so it will be 250 by 100. So it's coming to 37,50,000. Next, current cost of labor. Past cost of labor was 9 lakh. So 9 lakh. Present index value as per formula. Present index value 300. So 300 and best index is 100. Okay. That means past index is 100. So it's coming to 27. Okay. Next one is what? Next one is current overhead cost. Okay, current overhead cost is how much? Current cost of overhead 6 lakh, old one, into 240 present cost index for overhead 240 divided by 100, the old one. Okay, so it's coming to 14,40,000. Okay, so therefore total current cost of replacing new machinery, okay, replacing the old one with the new machinery will be 37,50,000 plus 27 lakh plus 14,40,000. So it's coming to 78,90,000. Okay, so this is by using the index values of present and past. If past indexes are not given, we have to consider it as 100. How we are finding out what the current cost, okay, based on the old cost or past cost. Okay, this is called as index model. Now another sum which is given in my notes as well, we have done with the solution also. See here, Mariam is interested in estimating the annual labor and material cost for a new production facility. She was able to obtain the following cost data. What is that? First one is labor cost. Labor cost index value was at 124 10 years ago and is 188 today. Okay. Annual labor cost for a similar facility were euro 5,75,500 10 years ago. We have to find out the present cost. Okay, present labor cost. Okay, see the same formula we have applied. See here the labor one. See, annual cost today, annual cost 10 years ago. Here it is index value today and index value 10 years ago. See, so again I am putting this is the formula. See, this is the old value. Okay, old, that means this is the old cost. Okay, so it's how much? It's euro 5,75,500 into, this is the new index. New index is 188 and the old index given over here as 124. So 124 will come here. Okay, so the value is coming to euro 8,71,800. Okay, so this is the present annual labor cost. Okay, that is today. Another one given over here, material cost. Material cost index value was at 544 3 years ago and 715 today. Annual material cost for a similar facility were euro 24,55,000 3 years ago. So we have to find out the current one. Okay, similar, the same formula we have to apply. See, we are finding out annual cost today. Okay, annual material cost today. The formula is, this is the new index, means the today's index. See, today's index is 715. So we have written 715 divided by old index 544 old index, and this is the old value. Okay, so old value I have written. Okay, old cost rather to say. So your new material cost is coming to euro 32,27,000. Okay, so this is how we are computing the index, based on index model, how we are computing the current value. Okay, now let's start with the third model. Okay, now another thing here, see, if you see here, cost index data are collected and published by several private and public sources. For example, the US government published data through the Bureau of Labor Statistics of the Department of Commerce. Okay, there are many many agencies, or you can say many sources through which we can get this index values. Okay, so here in US government published the data through Bureau of Labor Statistics of Department of Commerce. The statistical abstract of the United States publishes cost indexes for labor, construction and material. Another useful source for engineering cost index data is the Engineering News Record. Okay, so these are the different agencies who are publishing the index values. Okay, next comes the next model, again very important one, power sizing model. See, in index model, I told you one very important thing, that in index model is applicable when there is no change in power or capacity or quantity. But if we are going to replace a machine with a new one, but there is any change in capacity or power or quantity, then we cannot use cost index model only, then we have to take the help of this model called as power sizing model. Okay, so what is power sizing model? The power sizing model is an exponential model which reflects economies of scale. Now this particular term is unknown to you. What is the meaning of the term economies of scale? Economies of scale means cost reduction that occurs when an organization increases its production. So suppose we have started our own business. First year is the costlier one, because in the first year only we bear all fixed costs, we bear all variable costs, etc. So as we are growing up and we are increasing our production, what will happen? Gradually cost will come down. Okay, and this coming down of cost because of increase in production is called as economies of scale. This is called economies of scale. Okay, similarly another example I can give to you, that is cost of constructing the base floor. Suppose we are in construction industry, cost of constructing the base floor is much more than cost of constructing first floor or rest of the floor. Why? Because when we are constructing the base floor, that means the ground floor, we have to construct the basement, and construction of basement is much more costlier. Okay, so once we have done with construction of basement part, now if we are adding floor afterwards, the cost is getting lower, means cost is reducing. Okay, so this is called as what? Economies of scale. Okay, now here this model is used to find out the cost of industrial plants and equipments. Okay, so here see, this is the formula. To estimate the cost of X, which is comparable on the basis of cost of Y, the equation will be, see, cost of X is equal to cost of Y into size or capacity of X divided by size or capacity of Y to the power small x. What is the meaning of this capital X? What is the meaning of this capital Y? And what is small x here? Okay, where x is the appropriate power sizing exponent. Okay, this small x signifies the power sizing factor or power sizing exponent, which denotes the small x only. The small x denotes what? Economies of scale. Whether the company is running economies of scale period or the company is in the diseconomy of scale period, that we are understanding with the help of the small x, which is in the power. Okay, see, where x is the appropriate power sizing exponent available from a variety of sources, and exponent less than 1, okay, reflects economies of scale. If this value of small x is lesser than 1, it reflects what? Economies of scale. Means as the company is increasing production, the cost, or that means increasing the production units, number of units of production, the cost is reducing. This is economy of scale. An exponent of an exponent of 1 reflects no economy of scale. If the small x value is equals to 1, it means there is no economy of scale. Okay, and exponent greater than 1 reflects diseconomy of scale. Diseconomy of scale means after certain period, a period will come when, if in a company we are further increasing our production, the cost of production will not fall. That will again start increasing, because all the fixed costs which we have beared at the beginning, again those fixed costs we have to bear. Because see, say we have purchased a machinery, okay, at the beginning, Okay, and that machinery is having a life of 15 years. So 15 years matured means again we have to replace our machinery. So again after the time period of 15 years, all the machineries we are again replacing. So further, if you are increasing production, still your cost is not falling down, still your cost is increasing. So this period is called as diseconomy of scale period. So if the small x value is greater than 1, it reflects diseconomy of scale. Okay. Now another thing, now what is the meaning of this capital X, capital Y? See, capital X here means current cost of the asset with changed or new size or capacity. See, both capital X, capital Y are reflecting current cost. Okay. So current cost here, capital X is current cost of the asset with change or new size or capacity, and capital Y is current cost of the asset with older size and or capacity. Okay. Size is used here, maybe physical size or capacity or any other suitable comparison unit. Okay. So this is how we are using the formula to find out the current cost of a product, current cost of anything with change capacity. Okay, and with the help of this small x, that is exponent. Okay, which reflects economy of scale. This is the formula. Cost of x means cost of, that means current cost of the asset with change capacity. Cost of y may be given to you, that is current cost of the asset with older size or capacity, and this is size or capacity of x. Size or capacity of x means the new size or capacity, and this is the old one, size or capacity of the old one, that is size of capacity of y. Okay, now let us solve the problem, it will be more clear to you. Again the same problem. Okay, the same problem I have written over here, only there is a small change. Okay, see, an electricity company wants to replace its machinery which was erected in the year 1982 at a cost of rupees 30 lakh with a capacity of 300 megawatt. See here, 300 megawatt capacity is given clearly. Okay, earlier there was no capacity given. This consists of material, labor and overhead in the ratio of 5:3:2. The present cost index of material, labor and overhead are 250, 300 and 240 respectively. The company wants to increase, see this line is very important, the company wants to increase double of its present capacity. Earlier it was 300 megawatt, now they want to increase it and make it double, that means they want to replace a machinery with 600 megawatt. You are required to determine the present cost of the machinery to be replaced with double capacity by using cost index and power sizing model. Power sizing factor, that is small x, given over here as 0.8. See, when there is any change in capacity, index model is not enough. We have to take the help of power sizing model as well. Now, solution. First portion is as same as we did earlier. Okay, see, first is cost breakup of old machinery as we did earlier. Okay, we have done in the same way. Like we have break down the cost of 30 lakh into material cost, labor cost and overhead cost separately. Okay, see like this, 30 lakh into 5 by 10, 15 and 15 lakh, then labor cost is 9 lakh and overhead cost is 6 lakh in the similar way. Now current cost breakup assuming base index as 100. This current cost breakup is with the same capacity. Okay, so see the same way we have done. This 15 lakh is the older cost into current index is 250 as we did earlier, and this old index as it is not given, we are considering it as 100. Okay, so we have calculated, it is coming to 37 lakh 50,000. Similarly, current labor cost is coming to 27 lakh. Current overhead cost is coming to 14 lakh 40,000. This is with the same capacity. So therefore total current cost of replacing new machinery will be how much? this new machinery without changing capacity is coming to same as earlier, that is 78,90,000. Now comes the part of this, that means power sizing model. Now see this one, estimated present cost of double capacity machinery by using power sizing model. See, what's the formula? Look at the formula. Cost of x means cost of the current that means current cost of the asset with change capacity we are finding out. For that we need current cost of the asset with older capacity. So this older capacity we have current cost, this is current cost of the asset with older capacity, 78,90,000. Okay, we have written the same here. Okay, next look at the formula. Next is size or capacity of x. This is the new one, size or capacity of x, and here it is 600 megawatt and divided by size or capacity of the old one, means earlier it was 300 megawatt. See, 300 megawatt. So we have written 600 divided by 300 to the power small x, as it is given in the formula, to the power small x. See here, to the power small x. Okay, so we have written over here as 0.8. So it is coming to, if we have done the multiplication, it's coming to how much? 1,37,37,288. So if we are going to replace the same machinery but with double capacity, we need to bear a cost of 1,37,37,288. So this is how we are applying power sizing model. And another thing, if you are asked whether the company is in economy of scale period, you have to see this exponent value. Exponent value is lesser than 1, and as I said, if it is lesser than 1, then the company is in the economy of scale period, means company is enjoying the reduction of cost as they are increasing the number of unit produced. Okay, so this is how you are determining the economy of scale as well. So this is done, this model is done. There are another problem given in my notes based on this model already solved. Okay, that means solution has already been given to you. Okay, so please go through my notes as well. Now this is another model. This is not at all important for you, still it is given. Okay, this is segmenting model. Segmenting model, under this model the total work is divided into number of segments. Okay, see here, now here you have to divide the total work into number of segments, and then you have to find out segment wise cost, means by adding all the items in a particular segment we can find out total segment wise cost. Okay, and then all the segment wise cost added together to find out segmenting cost of the total product of that particular product. Okay, see, under this model the total work is divided into a number of segment, then detailed cost estimation are made for each segment. Detailed cost estimation are made for each segment, for individual segments. Okay, after that all cost of individual segment are aggregated for the total cost estimate. Okay, an example will make it more clear. See here, example for cost estimation of a lawn mower. Lawn mower means which we are using, a machine which we are using to cut grasses. Okay, in lawn. Okay, see here, see chassis part. This is the chassis part. Items are coming under chassis part: deck, wheel, axle. Okay, so the segment wise cost written over here and added together. So chassis subtotal is coming to 7,800. Again, drive train. Okay, see drive train, here the items under drive trains are given. So this item wise total we did, and this is subtotal of drive train is coming to 19,900. This is cutting system, handle assembling, engine leakage, blade leakage. Okay, speed control leakage, drive control assembly, cutting height adjuster. Okay, so all the individual costs are written over here and subtotal of cutting system is given as 4150. Similarly, this control part, okay, so this blade assembly, okay, then side chute, okay, these are all given, grass bag and adapter, okay, so all these are given under control, okay, so summing together is coming to 1900. Okay, now total estimated cost 7800, 19900, 4150 and 1900, summing together it's coming to 33,750. So this is nothing but segmenting model. So in case of segmenting model, you will be given this items, okay, which you have to divide under different segments. Segments will be given to you, okay, under this under every segment, and the items you have to segregate under different segments, and you have to find out segment wise cost first, then all the segment wise cost will be added together to find out the total cost, okay, of that particular machine or a particular apparatus. So segmenting model is not at all important for you. Still, one problem, one solution I have given you for your reference, okay. Rest 3 models are very important, okay. Notes are already been given to you, so go through the notes also, watch my video also, and if there is any doubt, contact me. Thank you.